Hi everyone, and welcome back to the pit. Buckle up. Today we're talking about a brutal tape and recording from the legends themselves, Cannibal Corpse. But even though they're mainstream, you won't find this tape on Spotify. There's been no reissues, and there's only one word that keeps it alive in the metal underground: death board. Alright, let's set the stage briefly. It's 1994 and Cannibal Corpse just released their fourth studio album, The Bleeding, pushing death metal and extreme music into an uncharted territory, gaining commercial success. Because of the band's newfound success, a lot of new people were hearing Cannibal Corpse's music, and a lot of people that have never heard of extreme music before. This resulted in a ton of issues for their band. Albums constantly pulled off shelves, getting them banned from multiple countries, and their shows often targeted by censors. The band was running into a lot of issues. This was because they were often seen as dangerous, vile, and disgusting, but that only fueled Cannibal Corpse's legacy. But behind the chaos, Cannibal Corpse was on the edge of transformation. Just 1 year later, Chris Barnes, the renowned vocalist and frontman for Cannibal Corpse, was gone, and the vocalist from Monstrosity, Corpse Grinder, was in, and Cannibal Corpse's sound would change forever. Before that shift though, Cannibal Corpse had one last tour, and this was the last chance that Chris Barnes was going to get to release as much carnage as possible with Cannibal Corpse, and boy, did he. But this recording was never meant for the public's ears, but it leaked and slipped into the underground under the alias known as Death Board. And the best part, it wasn't some garbage sounding tape, but it also wasn't overproduced to the point that the recording lost all of that live and brutal sounding energy. It sat perfectly in the middle. It was dangerous enough that you could still feel that rush of brutality that Cannibal Corpse and especially Chris Barnes brought to the table, but it was also clean enough that you could hear the riffs and that the drums were packed and they were brutal. Even with the killer production and this recording really capturing the energy of what made Cannibal Corpse so special, it never got released for the public's enjoyment. Now, that has been something that has led to a lot of questions throughout the years of why didn't that happen? If you have such an amazing record and something that sounds really, really good, why wouldn't you release it? Now, one of the biggest theories on this is that because Chris Barnes left Cannibal Corpse in a really messy kind of drama state, he had the original copyrights to the band's logo, he had some of the copyrights to the band's lyrics, and he didn't give them to them. He took it with him. So a lot of fans speculate that because this was at the end of his career, that he didn't want this to come out with the band, and the band was mad at him and didn't want his vocals to keep going on with Cannibal Corpse. So where does that lead us? That leads the fans having to trade this hand in hand and dub it to each other. And nowadays, everything is online. You still can't go and buy this. It's never going to get reissued. I have seen some for sale on Discogs as expensive as $200, so you're never really going to be able to get this released cheap. But it is just proof that this recording really captured the energy of Cannibal Corpse. Now, you may be asking yourselves, why do I care enough about this that I decide to make a YouTube video about it, and why should you guys even give a fuck? Well, I'm going to tell you, because this was Chris Barnes' last thing with Cannibal Corpse before Corpse Grinder stepped up to the plate for Cannibal Corpse, it really is a snapshot at what made Cannibal Corpse so brutal, so raw and destructive in the 90s that resulted in them getting banned from multiple countries. Additionally, because Cannibal Corpse really is a mainstream band nowadays and is so widely known and popular, even though I really do love them, you do end up getting to a lot of fans that you can't really talk about the underground metal scene, even though they might still know them. And this is why Death Board has such a special place in my heart, because you can talk. If someone knows about Death Board, you're genuinely talking to someone who really does care about the metal scene and who is knowledgeable. It gives you a super rare, special thing to hold on to and be like, hey, here is this from this band who's super popular that you might not even know. You could go to a Cannibal Corpse show and a lot of people, I'm telling you right now, would be like, I've never heard of the Death Board release. And some of you probably haven't either. But that's a good thing. It's such a special recording. It's such a special place in Cannibal Corpse's history. And honestly, for me, it's one of my favorite untouchable pieces of physical media that I own. It's such a special release. And if this video hasn't proved to you that you really do need to go listen to this fucking thing, then I don't really think that you care about metal. Hey, if you stuck around to the end of today's video, thank you so much. This was really hard to film as I had to memorize a lot of stuff and kind of to get it out without a bunch of emotion behind it. But if you like these type of videos and you want to support me, hit the like and comment and follow below. It really helps me push this out into the algorithm more. And I want to get around to doing more videos like this with higher quality and production. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you want any of the stuff behind me, I have my link in my bio for flags, shirts, and flyers. So go check that out. And thank you so much, and keep the underground alive.